Abaticola and Ferrari discuss everything. With Matt Abaticola.
Son, your ego is writing checks your body can't cash.
I'm sorry I ruined your New Year's Eve party. She tastes like cigarettes.
And Jason Ferrari.
I'm very important. I have many leather-bound books, and my apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
Two complete nincompoops with microphones and access to the World Wide Web. Presented by Mickey Finn's Brewery in Libertyville, Lake County's oldest brew pub. Now, here are your hosts for this shit show, Abaticola and Ferrari.
All right, hello there, podcast friends. Welcome into another episode of Abaticola Ferrari Discuss Everything. This is episode number 13. It's called Sausage Legend. He's Ferrari, I'm Abaticola, and this is where we discuss everything. We're glad to have you downloading and listening to our program. We, of course, are brought to you by Mickey Finn's, Lake County's oldest brew pub, located at 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in beautiful downtown Libertyville. Check them out on Twitter at Mickey Finn's. You can also listen to the program and check out the program and connect with us as well on social media at AFDE Show on Twitter. You can connect on Facebook, facebook.com/AFDE Show. And, of course, you can send us emails any time of the day. We have a great response time of within 30 seconds to every email. It's the AFDE Show at gmail.com. So that's how you connect with us. And, of course, listening is the best thing to do. But what you can do, of course, is tell your friends and family to check out the download. Abaticola and Ferrari discuss everything. So we'll get things started today. We are recording here on Halloween night. So belated happy Halloween to all of you, because you'll be listening afterwards. And we do start things with a sobering and sad story out of New York. Lower Manhattan, a mass attack once again by a terrorist. This time, a 29-year-old individual. His name is Saifulo Saipov, 29 years old, rented a truck and decided to take that truck for a joyride down a bike path. People biking and walking and children. And at this point, 8 people dead. 11 people seriously injured and in the hospital. This suspect, this is the best part of the story, was shot in the abdomen, survived, and is in custody, went into surgery. He's going to survive. That was the only silver lining so far of this story, and the fact that he is going to be alive to face punishment for what he did.
Yep. And I think the last report I read was he had was it a pellet gun and a paint gun and a
paintball gun?
Paintball gun, yeah.
So clearly, I mean, he obviously then this is a new tactic from terrorists, is to take a vehicle and ram people that are out doing something and just enjoying the day. And here it was a beautiful day in Lower Manhattan on Halloween morning, and he decides to take a truck down a bike path and ram people and kill as many people as possible, and with the intent of getting out with these guns and getting shot and being killed. I was so happy that he was not killed. I was so happy he was shot in the abdomen, is in surgery, and is going to survive, and will be able to answer for these horrific crimes of killing 8 people. And the news is saying that the other 11 people are seriously injured. And we cannot, as a people, just become comfortable and like, oh, this is part of life now. We cannot get to that point where we just say, yeah, this is what life is like now. We can't be like that. Every incident like this has got to infuriate people to the point where, we get after lawmakers and get after politicians to do things to try, and I know this is the hardest situation. This is not like, there's no chatter between terrorists planning this. This is a guy who decides on his own to do this. Now, they said his criminal record was basically traffic stops, nothing serious. There wouldn't be any red flags about this guy that would say he's going to take a van and drive it down a bike path in Lower Manhattan. So these are the hardest things to stop, but we cannot ever become comfortable with this is part of life now.
Complacent, right? It's, I've definitely gotten to the point where I don't even, I know that there's really never anything to say, this doesn't need to be some kind of a giant patriotism speech or anything like that. It's just, there are clearly people who hate us, who hate our way of life, who hate that we inhabit any part of any of their region, and want as many of us to die as possible. And, I don't know, I think we were talking about this, not too long ago, where it's like, okay, what does, I feel, there's certain terms where like prayers and thoughts and stuff. It's like, I genuinely feel bad who lost someone today, but you're completely dead on. Like, we cannot get complacent about this stuff. Like,
you can't just say, all right, this is what happens now.
We have to be prepared, and it's going to happen again, and it sucks, but it's the reality.
And it's weird. You hear stories about people who use that bike path, and it'll come out because it's happened before in different situations where people are like, well, I'm not going to change what I do. And I don't change what I do, but I'm telling you, dude, I go anywhere in a group. Like last night, I took the boys to this Halloween bash at the Libertyville Sports Complex. You get to dress up, and it was just hundreds of kids running around. They had giant inflatables. They had indoor train to ride and games and bounce houses. It was a great time. They had a DJ and dancing and costume contest. But I'm in a group of hundreds of people in a large building, and if my head is not on a swivel, I'm lying to you then, because it certainly is.
Oh, no.
Walking into it, it's like, all right, I got to just keep an eye out for anybody that might be an idiot at this event tonight.
Right.
And I am like that now, and I'm fine being like that, because I'd rather be like that and just be like, oh, whatever happens is going to happen in life. Well, no, I mean, I'm gonna be prepared for it, because
concerned and protective.
Right.
I mean, like,
absolutely.
And that's something that you're thinking about in like Libertyville, Illinois. You know what I mean?
That's terrible, right?
Which is not. I wouldn't think that that's any kind of a target, but I mean, I think that they're going to start getting out of large metropolitan areas and like hitting people in different areas. I mean, like,
crazy people live everywhere.
Yeah.
And anywhere there's a large group of people, that to me is a target. And if we're not proactive and thinking like that as American citizens, then we're losing. We're losing the absolute battle of what we can do at the forefront of these things happening.
Protect ourselves.
Right, absolutely. I'm not saying that don't go out and not live your life. I mean, I'm not gonna take that away from my kids last night of going out and dressing up and having a great time at this thing. But I'm also going to be prepared and just not be so casual about things. Be like, oh, whatever happens, and it's whatever. It's out of my control. Sure, certainly it is out of my control. If a guy wanted to go in there last night and do something stupid, not in my control. But man, it doesn't mean I can't be aware of what's going around me.
Right, exactly. I mean, like
if there was a dude last night walking around by himself without kids, without a family, that would have been a red flag to me.
I always have that happen too. Like, I'll just, and it's. God, again, I don't know any other way to say it. It sucks. It sucks so bad that we have these things going on, and you have these like creeping suspicions, right? You'll just see someone and be like, "Oh boy," like, I don't know how to feel about that guy. And it's honestly, it's not even like any kind of profiling, because it could look to me. It's anyone who looks shady. It's not like
and anyone who looks out of place,
Muslim or like something like that.
No,
it's just anyone who's like, okay, that guy doesn't really fit this scenario.
Exactly. A guy last night walking around by himself, to me, would have not fit the scenario.
Right. Exactly.
I would have said, I wonder who that guy is.
Halloween party.
Right.
It's
where are your kids? Where's your family?
Capacity.
Right. Very odd. So. And that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. I'm not like, I'm not a conceal and carry guy. I'm not going to walk around with it, because I don't think that adds.
I don't think
that
adds
more complications than it does.
It probably makes things worse.
Right. Absolutely. So again, whatever your beliefs and your thoughts are, I know thoughts and prayers don't stop terror from doing things, but I do believe there's a sense of comfort that can come from thoughts and prayers and praying for people, praying for the people that survived, whose lives are going to be dramatically changed from this point on. People who are going to survive their injuries and move forward, who have to live with this the rest of their lives. I do believe in the power and the comfort of praying for people. God, if you know someone who is affected by this, man, I don't even know what proper words to say. But here it is again, another dumb incident with another animal, another criminal who decides to drive a truck down a bike path. I mean, it's just so ridiculous. That's where we live. But please don't become complacent. The great word Jay said, don't be complacent. Stay active, stay proactive, be aware, and do what you can as far as your politicians and the people involved in your communities making the laws of what you can do to make your community safer, and just be aware of things. So as we move away from that, it is Halloween here for us. It's after Halloween for you. So happy Halloween, Jay. Hope you're really going to enjoy your trick or treating tonight. I know you usually get out around 11:30 or midnight.
Yeah, I celebrate it. Yeah, exactly.
Trick or treat.
Yeah, I really like to mess with the new neighbors. Yeah, they'll be like, you guys have no idea what you've gotten into. Yeah, I posted a couple. I don't know if you saw. I
saw your Alex
of
Trebek one. Yeah, the Jeopardy.
No, but Forrest has gotten a giant response on the old Book of Faces. Yeah. Oh, dude, I mean, like, obviously, that's my favorite movie, but I've been talking about being Forrest Gump forever. And last minute, I'm like, I can't do the clown. Like, I was going to do the clown like we talked about to get over it. I'm like, dude, I couldn't. Every time I went to the bathroom and I would see myself in the mirror, it's like, no way. I can't do it. We've made no secret of fear of clowns on this show, but yeah, I love Halloween. Like, that's, other than, I love, Christmas with the family and stuff is great, but Halloween's so much fun if you get into it,
As an adult, I've never gotten crazy into it. It's been more fun the last couple of years with the boys again going through it and doing stuff. So yesterday they were Flash and Captain America. Today for their school parade, because with their new program they're at their school, they get to do a whole school parade. So this was cool. So they were dressed up as Hulk. So they had
both of them.
They had dual
Twin
costumes.
Hulk?
Yeah, so they were Hulks. It was pretty cool. Little different costumes, little tweak just because the size difference in the boys. But both Hulk today. So they had their hair painted and they had their faces painted.
Nice.
Because they weren't allowed to wear masks at school, which is fine. No masks, no weapons, which I'm okay with that. For costumes. So they were Hulk today, and then Flash and Captain last night. And dude, I think each week I want to bring at least one story each week of my experience with having my mom live with me because
and kids.
Of course, absolutely.
I have gotten multiple requests from people saying like, lose this segment and just have Matt talk about his kids. I'm like, that's really not what we're gonna do.
No, but I do want to add more.
Something notable.
Yeah, if there's something there, and I got a couple things for you today. So my mom moved back here in the beginning of September, and when everything happened over the summer with my brother, my mom was here for the funeral, and whatnot. She said, she made it pretty clear she wanted to move back, and she just wasn't as happy out in Arizona. She could be here, so I said, well, what, you can move back here, stay with me. And only a 2-bedroom apartment, and the boys are over 3 or 4 nights a week. I said, "We'll figure it out. Not a big deal.
Right?
Doesn't matter.
Great time with the grandkids.
Right? So she's spending time with them. They're they have nicknames for her now, and it's just the bond that they're building that I'm seeing is great.
That's
so
outstanding.
Yeah, it's fine.
Like
it's,
again, any positive that can come out of that.
Absolutely.
Negative,
And if she never leaves, she never leaves. Whatever. Life goes on, and and we'll adjust and we'll move on. But so she's here with me now, and it's 44. It's not the easiest thing, though, to have your mom living with you, obviously.
Good God, no.
So, do a couple things real fast. This is the best. So, she's been cooking dinner once a week, makes a dinner once a week, and she tries to prepare something. And it's cool, whatever. She doesn't have to do it. She does it, fine. So she's making some chicken breast the other day, and
it's not the bag thing again, is it?
Yeah,
she did it again.
No, my God! I won't even get into it then again. I don't even know what to do. I don't even know how to explain.
Wait, so this is now the second time. Second time there's
second
oil all
yes.
over the bottom of the refrigerator.
Second time. The second time, it's like why? Because and then again, the fault lies with the quality of the Ziploc bags. Ziploc bags.
There's a bowl.
Right. So
put it in the bowl.
Here's last night. We're driving home from the Halloween bash at the sports complex, and mom's having some stomach issues. And car, it's cold, windows up, heat's on, and mom drops a bomb.
Oh no.
And it is like
lady farts are bad. Dude, I can only imagine mom farts.
Weapon of mass destruction is how we're going to describe these WMDs, right? We're driving, and and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, holy crap, seriously?
Did the kid say something?
And I don't want to make her feel bad because she's got some stomach things, so it's like fine. So Henry starts in on Jack, accusing Jack of farting. So now Jack is
farting or pooping?
Farting.
Okay.
So Jack is getting really upset because now Henry will not let up, and he's just getting on him, and now Jack's getting to the point of almost tears. He's so upset about it. So as we're going through, and Henry is getting more loud and more rambunctious about it, Jack's getting more and more angry, and Jack is like, Henry farted. You're disgusting. Henry, this is disgusting. I'm in tears. Like, I'm trying to hold back from laughing because I know it's my mom. She's not saying anything. She's got to feel uncomfortable. Henry is getting more at Jack. Jack's getting more pissed at Henry. Oh, you're disgusting. It's so disgusting. And then Jack starts gagging. It's so bad. Oh. He's like, Henry, you disgust me.
Because do they usually claim it like any.
Oh, they always
any
blame.
male...
No, they always blame each other.
Oh, okay, that's actually even more.
So
funny.
it works. Yeah, it works better. They blame the other. So man, I am just dying. So eventually, I can't even hold it in. I'm roaring. I'm laughing. I'm just dying, laughing out loud. And my mom. Of course, she can't be a man about it, of course. So she's like...
Did she blame one of them?
She's like,
it's like
Jack,
blaming the dog.
Whoever did... Roll your window down. Roll your window down. And I'm like, how about you roll your window down, lady?
Oh, my God. Did you say that?
No, whatever. I let it go. So we come to a stop. I put my window down. Jack puts his window down. And, man, I think both he and I had our heads out the windows. Henry is just, giggling, blaming Jack the whole time. My mom, she won't say a word about it, but... Man, yeah, Grandma WMDs, whoo, boy. So, yeah, so that's stories of living with mom again. It's always fun.
Living with mom in the car.
Yeah,
mom. Did she enjoy the event?
She did to a point of being there with the kids, and but she had to sit down because she got a little too tired and was in a little bit of pain, so she was sitting down relaxing.
Well, it happens.
But it was good. It was fun, and It's cool having her back here and involved, and I know she's always home. Mom's always home. I'm trying to encourage a hobby of some type, but it's good to have her around the boys and hanging out and being able to do things. I took her for a Bloody Mary at Finn's, and it was the second Bloody Mary she's ever had in her life. The first one was also at Finn's.
Yes, yeah. There's a trend of the Finn's Bloody Marys. No, that was a good story as well. If you have not heard that story, wow, I wish I could tell you what episode it was.
I don't remember what episode, but it was the story of my mom's first drinking.
Listen to all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was...
she was in her 30s, I think.
Mai Tai, right?
Yeah.
Mai Tai, yeah.
Mai Tais. Late 20s or early 30s,
the funny thing is,
like,
Mai Tais get everyone. That's just this doesn't taste like booze. Yeah, your drink is brown.
Yeah, but not everyone wakes up in the grass out in front of the bar they're drinking at, or the restaurant, I should say. It was a family-owned restaurant.
Hey, go big or go home.
Granny took a little nap.
To the lawn.
Yeah, it's fine. All right, so you mentioned this. I didn't know you guys were doing this, but you did an SNL experience. I have no idea.
I didn't know
what that even is or what exists. What is it?
So, have you ever been in the Museum of Broadcast Communications? It's like staid and grand-ish, like right by the Hard Rock.
Walked past it several times.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was on a tour because I was
relatively new, a couple years.
Well, no, that's been there for 10 years, but they keep redoing it and adding to it.
That's what it was.
I've been there on my own just because I'm a radio nerd sometimes. But then I was there for a holiday, a Christmas party at work, which was just amazing.
Right.
Because you get the full deal, and then they have the anchor desk that you can go sit at, and you actually could do news reports. But I didn't bring my glasses, so I just sat there while other people talked. So the SNL experience has been there for about it must be almost a month. And it goes for another, I think, 6 weeks or four weeks. But I didn't even know I was going. Trish, we had date night planned last Wednesday.
Okay.
She came and met me, and we took the train. I didn't know. And as I was walking around, I'm thinking, oh God, is it bowling? As we're passing things, just because we're in the
10-pin or whatever.
We're in the River North Loop, and wandering around. I'm like, ugh, And then, but I didn't think it was going to be bad. I just was trying to guess.
Right.
And then we're a block away, and I'm like, wait, I think this is the Museum of Broadcast Communication. Are we going to the SNL experience?
Yeah.
Because I kind of forgot it was there. And, dude, it's so cool, man.
I had no idea.
You go, so I highly recommend you do it. The tickets, are the good tickets where you have access to everything, are $25. And basically what they do is they walk you through the week of SNL. So there's all the stuff from 75 to now, all the main characters, all the costumes, all that stuff is in there. It's almost like the Smithsonian for SNL. But you go in and it's Monday. And then you just see host comes in, blah, blah, blah. You do all this stuff. And then it's bam, bam, bam. And you walk through, and most of it's in writing. They're Lorne's desk and office is there. Letters to him from Steve, to Paul Simon and George Carlin, who was the very first person to appear on SNL in 1975.
Okay.
He did the monologue, and then this, all the stars kind of got their reign started. But you go through, and then you get to kind of the round table, and they have the digital table where everybody does all their stuff. and then you have the members will start coming up on video screens saying, here's what it's like to do this. And it's just interesting. Like they recorded it for it to be interactive with this tour. And then you go to like the Friday and the dress rehearsal, and then they're like, okay. And then you come in here and you sit down, and there's a set to your right, set to your right, set to your left, and then like the main stage. And they're like, and now your host, and Tina Fey like comes out, they pull a video screen across the stage, music's playing, and then she does like a monologue to the people on the tour. And then they're like, and now our musical guest, and you turn to the left, and it was Bruno Mars, and like he did like big part of his show. And then they're like, and now like we're one of our sketches, and I was like Celebrity Jeopardy.
Oh yeah, nice.
to the right. I have some photos of me behind like in all the sets and the Wayne's World set. I'm a huge SNL nerd. I've read that 800-page book twice, cover to cover. I love it. I was telling my parents this weekend, like, because if you have a Hulu subscription, you have access to every SNL episode ever made. So, I mean, I started watching it probably close to like when we were in the Super Bowl, like right around there. So like 85 when I was like 10 and on. But I've gone back and watched 75 to like 85. Like I've never missed an SNL episode. I record all of them. I love it. So this was a great wife, awesome gift, and I highly recommend it. It's super cool.
Did you watch last Saturday's?
So
was Hanks the host, correct, or no?
No, the host was Larry David.
Oh, okay.
But Hanks, I have not watched it yet because we had our Halloween party on Saturday. But I'm hoping it's. I don't know if it's a good one. Someone said it was animated, but David S. Pumpkins is supposed to make another, which amazing sketch. So
yeah, because they showed at 9:00 on Saturday night. They had the best of Halloween stuffs, and that David S. Pumpkins one that's such a great skit. It's so hysterical.
Well, and they pitched it to Hanks, and he's like, I don't think that's a good idea. And he was asking who the host was for next week and saying it's probably, who would fit in that sketch? It'd be like this. And then they did it, and it's like one of the funniest things I've seen.
It's so good.
Dude, yeah. I'm David Pumpkins, man. Like, it's amazing.
The dancing skeletons.
Oh, yeah. We're part of it.
It's great. It was really, really good. Well, that sounds like very cool. And you got a great photo on your refrigerator there of you guys at the news desk.
We can update with
nice.
Tina Fey. The guy said, how photographers at events, like, give me this, and he's like, looks serious, and I'm like, I was looking at my hand, I look like if you could actually put a knife in it. I have like stabbing hand, so
you killed a guy.
I took it too far.
Well, no, it looks good. That's great. That sounds like a great time and a really great price. $25 for the whole tour.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
And it's like 2 full floors. It was so good. I mean, that for anything that you could go and spend $25 on, man, go. If you like SNL, if you've ever liked it, if you hate the seasons now and love the past, it's a
very cool
chronicle of 40 years of the show.
Well, this coming Saturday we have our last Hank soccer game of the fall season. So I signed him up for spring soccer, so he'll be playing April and May of 2018.
It's 2 months. Are they 2-month seasons for them?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they go like 6, 7, 8 games total, whatever they are, the schedules. And I actually signed up again to be a head coach for next spring. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I asked Hank if he wanted me to coach his team again, and he said he did. So I signed up again and got him all registered for next spring.
Good.
Unfortunately, Jackie missed it by a month. You have to be 4 by March 1st, and he turns 4 on May 2nd. So he missed it. Just missed it to play in the spring, so he'll have to wait to the fall.
Okay.
To
well,
play.
I wonder if that's the same as like the age cutoff for the school year.
It might be. Yeah, it might be. That's how they do it.
Like delay.
He actually could have played. Like I could have finagled it and had him play in the spring because he actually participated in a couple of Hank's practices.
Yeah,
and he was one of the better kids out there. I couldn't believe it. Like doing drills and whatnot, and like getting the concept of it.
He's got more of I would say the eye of the tiger than
oh, he's definitely a little more feisty.
Intense.
Yeah,
he's more intense.
Hank's just a brute, but Jack is like he's very calculating.
Well, yeah, but exactly. I was gonna say Hank's big brother, so he can be brute.
Yeah,
but eventually, like it's not gonna work out. Like Jack's gonna come and get him.
So I'm excited. And this Saturday after our last game, we have each kid gets a medal, and they're pretty decent medals. And for a 4-year-old, they're gonna be totally ecstatic. And last year when we did it, and after Hank's first time playing, the coach was just like had a bag, and he's like, "All right, kids, come on over here and grab yourselves a medal for the year," and you put it on. They were all excited,
and a juice box and a piece of cheese and
Right.
an orange slice.
So I'm actually gonna do a post game medals ceremony. I'm gonna have the kids line up, and I have a little something.
Have some parents help or something. Yeah, like
Well, no, they will, because all the parents will be there. But I'm gonna acknowledge each kid by name individually to come on up and get a medal. I'm gonna ask a former Bears player who lives in the neighborhood, see if he can come by and do like a celebrity presentation.
I think I know who you're talking
Buy
about.
him a few beers maybe, and be like, dude, can you give me 20 minutes of your time on Saturday for kids? That's what I'll do. I'll say it's for kids.
Yeah. Well,
and beer.
Yeah, but
kids and beer.
Whoever it is,
I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun. Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and looking forward to getting after it again next spring. My first run as a soccer coach, undefeated.
I do have a mixed bag of emotions about the medals for everyone.
Yeah, I did
because
too.
it's your kids.
Yeah,
cool. But otherwise,
I did initially. But
everyone gets equal playing time.
Here's the thing, though, is that at this age, it's not competitive at all. It's just about grasping the fundamentals. So much I'm fine with it. Like there's no goalies But as they get older,
it's innate. Like if you teach that,
yeah.
It can't be the same.
Well,
I don't the same.
I hope it doesn't develop that way as they get older and playing in the Libertyville Soccer Association, because I want it to change where obviously when you add goalies and there's slide tackling and there's different concepts of the game that are added to it
gets
and you keep score and there's a winner and there's a loser, that it's like, yeah, there aren't participation medals. I wouldn't.
At least
buy
now
into all
though,
of
they're
that.
I mean, it's basically like doing drills in like game time
it's
action.
just grasping it.
So
and-
they're learning that skill set that hopefully they can take.
That'll
forward.
carry over. And
Yeah,
what's great about it is the kids that didn't really get it at the start of the season, and we're gonna have 7 games altogether. I've seen growth in all the kids. It's great.
Yeah.
The kids that were. There's one little dude I love so much, man. He is awesome.
Is that the beard kid?
No, well, that's Ryder. I like him. He's such a great little kid. He's so sweet.
Of course, though.
He's like
that's
out in
his name. Like the kids nowadays have like, you know what? We're gonna name after the tractor, but put a Y there.
But he's in his own. He's in his own world all the time. But even him, like he 2 weeks ago, dude, he was all over the place, like getting and playing and being active. It was so cool. Last week, one of my other little favorite kids, Edward, the dude. He's the smallest kid on the team. And his name is Edward, and it's just great. If he could make a game out of kicking a soccer ball, chasing after it, and diving on top of it, he would be the best in the world, because that's all he did.
Football.
He would kick and then jump on top of the soccer ball.
I know people
and I'd be
are scared about it, but
I'd be like, dude, you can't do it. You can't. You're going to get kicked in the head. Stop jumping on it.
That's the most difficult thing to teach in soccer is no hands. Mm-hmm.
But we just go over it so
because
you repeat. They get it.
Such an instinct, though.
Absolutely.
I was guilty of it. I'd be like,
but now and here we are and going in our final game, and it's not a thing anymore. Like I don't have to mention it anymore, and they learn it. It's great. Yeah, it's awesome.
Then you're doing a great job coaching because they're retaining the info.
We had Edward after the end of each game. You line up and you high five the other team, and Edward was my team line leader last week. He played so well. I mean, it's cool. It's cool to see the growth and the development and the excitement about it. It's really, really cool.
But that's the sign of, especially at a young age. Now, I did not, if I did, I don't remember. I don't think I played any I don't even know if it was an option for me to play any kind of an organized sport at age 4.
Right.
I don't think it was. I think it's changed a little bit.
Yeah.
But the only way that I ever got better was like, you start to understand like who's good, who's bad, who's doing the right thing, how the coach responds. So, you learn as you go, which it sounds like they're doing. But like good coaching, because I would always like retain it and be like, I won't make that mistake again, and I understand like what I'm doing. Or if I don't, I see someone who's doing it and I learn. So it sounds like you're doing a good job.
No, and it's been fun too, because a lot of the kids were really shy to start, and now that they all know each other and they're familiar,
and that brings them out of the
start to see
everything.
And two of the
sports are the best.
Two of the kids that were more quiet and were really all about like playing soccer. I would have said immediately at the start of the season were two of the best players in the team. They still are, but they were just all about doing the soccer and playing the game. And now that they know everybody and that they're friendly and they're completely goofy
and good teammates.
Yeah, and but the one kid, I was like, dude, you're not really. I was on practice last week. I'm like, hey, I go, you're not listening today. What's going on? And he goes, coach, sometimes I just like to be silly. And I'm like, okay, I can go with that. That's fine. Good answer.
Completely accept that.
Get back out there.
For
Let's
the
go.
rest of your life.
So that's fine. Very
it just
good.
made me think of of kicking and screaming, like just pass to the Italians.
That's great. So many people ask me when they started the season, they were like, "Are you going to watch Kicking and Screaming for tips?"
Oh, no.
I'm like, "Yeah, if I can find three,
I would
4-year-old Italian kids.
If I
that
can get out
play
to
like
Libertyville,
Pele."
I'm going to come and watch you coach a game. But also, if you wear like a matching sky blue jumpsuit.
Well, no, I've already. I'm gonna do one game next year, probably at the end of the season. Hopefully, when it's warmer in the season, I'm gonna do coach's shorts. I'm gonna do striped socks to my knees.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna do a tight, coach's polo.
You need to have a
mustache,
a table behind you with like a giant espresso machine.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And Ditka.
All right, on to questions and our answers. Your questions, our answers. That's how the segment goes.
I really like the diversity and the questions, though. These are good.
You just send those to us, afdeshow@gmail.com, or you can do it on Facebook or Twitter as well. And here's the first question from Patrick. Why are the NFL ratings down?
And then continuation of the question, which he obviously put some thought into it, which I kind of agree with everything. But so why are NFL ratings down? Is it bad teams? And I did not type it, but bad teams, bad matchups. Let's example Thursday night football, cable and blackouts. Not if you're drinking too much and you don't remember the game, but actual media blackouts. Violence, concussions. Or anthem protests, and he actually did throw an example, and I did go and look, and this is true. Last year and this year, NBA and MLB, both regular season and playoff games are up, and the NFL is down. So the question to us is, why do we think they are down? What do you think, Matt?
It's a great question, one that would take a lot of analytics to try to figure out and pinpoint, but I think there are a lot of, and every sporting league has outside storylines, outside of the game storylines,
and ebbs and flows.
Yeah, but the NFL has got too many. There are so many, and I'm not saying that it's bad or disagree with what's going on, but there are too many storylines within the NFL that are pulling away from the game.
Yeah, the president of
really
our country
that
is involved in the NFL storylines, which is the goddamn ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Like,
right.
I'm sorry, no one cares.
About your
opinion.
You have the president talk about
they do.
Right,
they do.
The president talking about getting, firing guys that kneel down, and then you have Bob McNair who compares the owner. Is it Bob McNair?
Yeah, from Houston. Yes.
He's the Texans owner, and he says we can't have these inmates running the prison. And then Jadeveon Clowney wears an inmate jumpsuit to a Halloween party, and then has a spokesman come out and say, "Oh, that wasn't a shot at our owner," when clearly it's a shot at the owner. It is,
but what an ignorant ass thing to say.
I know, dude.
Given the nature of what the protests are, come on.
But here's the thing:
I know a lot of those owners think it, but saying it, moron.
Here's the thing, though, and I think it's so weird. I was having a conversation with my brother about this the other day, and one of his sons, and we were talking about race and age of people in our country. One of his sons believes that a certain generation and older, they're all racist, because it was the norm, and that's how they grew up. And he's not excusing it. He's not making it acceptable. He's not shocked by it anymore. Where at times I'm still shocked by some people that I know based on their age and their racist thoughts, and they just think nothing of it. So when you said that it's an ignorant ass
more
thought.
like the reaction when it happens. Like, I guess I'm not shocked by
racism
that it's happening at its core, but it's still like, what? Whoa, God, seriously?
Well, it's when you said there that it's an ignorant thing to say or to think, but then to actually say it. I wonder if things would be easier to actually know everyone's honest opinion about where they stand. Like, I wonder what it would be like for an NFL player to clearly know that their owner is a racist. And you can't tell me that he's not a racist and make that comment, because that comment goes hand in hand with being a racist. It goes to your nature. You don't say that comment and then say, "Oh, I apologize if I offended anyone. I didn't really mean it. It was just it's a saying." It's not just a saying.
Which is a total PR.
Right. It's just a saying if you're a racist. Period.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. It's just that simple. So I wonder if it's that who was it? Jeff Foxworthy? Was he the comedian that had the whole thing about we should wear signs who was that had the whole, you should just wear a sign. And that way someone walks up on you, they know exactly what your sign is, so they know exactly who you are. If you're an old white racist, maybe it'd just be a lot easier if you just had a sign that said old white racist, you know? I don't know, but
I guess it's just God, it's just so much disappointment, you know, like we could talk about this forever, but it's just like,
well, I guess what
I'm so tired of this shit about who your parents were and how you were raised. It's like, you know what? Can you read? Like this is not something
can you not even read? Can you just be a goddamn human?
Yes,
can you just be a human to other people?
This is not something that is in your blood flow. It is not a disease. It's an opinion.
You're choosing to judge someone based on the color of their skin and then treat them differently.
Or anything else. Like where something like what happened today happens today. It is the easiest thing in the world to be like Muslims. No, because it's overgeneralizing and it's racism and it is what it is, you know, and it. God, I'm tired of it, but you know, I'm constantly surprised.
You know, and I guess
I have maybe way too much faith in humanity.
Probably, and I think going off what my nephew thinks, that a certain generation and older, they're all racist because that's just how they grew up. You know, I wonder if that's the reverse, and as the generations are getting younger and younger and younger, and our younger generations now, that there's less racism and there'll be less racism in my kids' generations. If that's the case, I really hope so. I hope there is that flow to it. There might not be much of a planet left over when my kids are grown up and adults, because I mean we're destroying the planet as we live. But you know, maybe they'll be better people as they get older. I don't know. And then another aspect of it is, well, then there's less personal communication now among people in their 20s. Is that going to get even worse when my kids grow up? You know. I don't know, but that whole, so back to the question, why are the NFL ratings down? I just personally think there's too many storylines outside of the NFL that pull away from a really great game when it is just about the game itself.
And everything that he had as his secondary line of questions or examples. Bad teams.
All great points.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Cable blackouts. Absolutely. Violence and concussions. You know, I don't know if people are stopping watching it for that reason, because I feel like that would be more like a protest in support of people getting concussion. I don't know. I don't really think that that's a thing.
Yeah.
I feel like that might be more people allowing their children to play football now. Anthem protest, 100%. I think that is not. I don't mean 100% is the reasoning, but that is an absolute. Like, I am in no way on the fence about if that is causing it. I'm quite sure that it is.
Well, all right, on to the next question. Brian, and he asks, where are the worst places to take a dump?
You know, we like to move from subject to subject.
My immediate answer to this, because I'm a firm believer in road games. I believe that if you can take a dump anywhere, that's a great thing. My only place, the worst place to take a dump is anywhere that's not clean. I mean, anywhere that your poop would be the cleanest thing in that bathroom, then that's a real issue.
I feel like I've never had to do it, but on a date, like in their house, like in a girl's house, like that has to be the worst.
Did you? Okay, so immediately you think of a couple different stories or movies. There's Along Comes Polly,
yeah.
where he blows up the bathroom. And then have you seen The Big Sick?
No, I haven't watched that yet.
Dude.
The Netflix show?
No, it's a movie. A movie.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. The same guy from The Big Sick is in a Netflix show by Apatow.
Okay.
Now.
Yeah, so it's an Apatow movie.
Yeah,
and
the guy from...
he's the Pakistani comedian.
No, from Silicon Valley. God, I was able to remember something.
Yeah, and he was also the if you saw Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates, he was the masseuse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, dude, he first of all, he's hysterical, and it's a great movie. You and Trish should watch it. It's really, really funny, really enjoyable. But there's a scene in it where his girlfriend, and it's a true story too. The Big Sick is a story about him and his wife meeting. It's really it's a great story. I loved it. So she's over at his apartment, and in the middle of the night, she gets up, and he's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm gonna go out for some coffee." He's like, "It's 3 a.m. She goes, "Oh, I don't know. I'm up. I really want some coffee." And he's like, "Well, I'll make you coffee." She's like, "No, there's a diner. I want to go get some. I really love diner coffee. There's something about diner coffee in the middle of the night."
Just to take a douche.
And then eventually she screams at it because he won't let it up, and she's like, "I have to take a shit." So the next scene is dude on his front porch sitting outside
waiting
while
in the house.
Yes, while she's taking a dump.
That's
so
great.
It was great. It's so funny.
Sold.
That's a great answer though. On a date, very good answer. That would not faze me at all. I think anywhere that's not clean is the only thing that's going to prevent me.
I agree. That's disgusting. But I mean, like, as far as where I'd be so hesitant to poop.
Yeah. And I guess you really wouldn't be at a date though.
Well, no. Well, it's maybe a date that's gone well and you're back at her place. If you have to shit, like I'd be, it's one of those things where you either make the call like, well, I'm going to cut this date off, and then she's going, well, like exactly like Along Came Polly. He was trying to get out of there, and then he's running the shower, and so
he did so many things wrong up in her apartment. It's just great when he smacks her in the ass.
Everything,
it's great. Oh, I
love that movie.
I love her. All right, here's a question from Jerry. Things you would let someone borrow versus things you wouldn't. Why or why not? Not limited to just objects, wife, kids,
He gave
grandma,
examples, wife, kids, grandma, etc.
Things you would let someone borrow versus things you wouldn't.
How about sheets? Dude, I don't want anyone to use my sheets.
Yeah, sheets or like my pillow.
Yeah.
Like my very specific pillow.
So bedding.
We'll go with bedding. Your phone.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Only because if something happens to your phone, it's such a pain in the ass to try to replace it, and then you don't know anyone's numbers or anything.
Right.
So I think a phone would be a good one. I have particular kitchen utensils I wouldn't let people borrow.
No,
like
you'll never get them back.
I have a certain chef knife that I wouldn't let someone borrow.
Oh my God, yeah. Don't get my wife started on the knives.
Like I don't. This is one that I put away. So when Granny's cooking, she doesn't use this knife. Like I don't even let my mom use it. Oh well, she can use the ones that are up on the counter.
No.
This is my special knife.
I put the knife. I have some knives somewhere else, and then I have the. Well, that sounds like I'm gonna murder somebody, but right. I do the same thing. The knives that are community.
Yeah,
community
knives, and then there's my chef knife. Don't touch, not at all. So bedding, your phone, our knives,
and knives.
Basically,
it's like, don't use my sheets. Don't make a call.
Underwear.
You
wouldn't let like a buddy, like maybe a buddy crashes over or something. It's like, I don't have any clean drawers.
Say, it's definitely not. Let's not call it borrow, because if you're using my underwear for any reason, I don't want it back. Congratulations on your gift of underwear.
You own a pair of my underwear now, friend.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Here's the thing: keep it or go commando. Those are your choices.
True.
I think those are good answers. I think bedding is a really good answer. Knives, phone, underwear.
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 I'm sure there are more, but let's move on to the Bears report.
All right, Bears. Bears had a really exciting game on Sunday against the Saints. Now, dumb penalties. I'm still loving what I'm seeing from the defense, though. I mean, this is a legit defense on the move. My questions now: are they going to be able to get pieces around the offense to play hand in hand with a good defense? Right. It's a great defense.
This year.
Not this year, but
unless,
I mean, in a relative,
younger people pick up.
Next year, in 2 years, is the window still there for this defense as it's growing? Akeem Hicks has been an absolute beast. He is such a joy to watch now.
It's discussion so fun. For NFL player or defensive player of the year. As far as, because
he had 5 sacks in the last 4 games, or 6 in the last 5.
But being disruptive, allowing teammates, taking on like double, triple teams, allowing teammates to get sacks. And one of the greatest things that we haven't seen forever, allowing our defensive backfield to make plays, or at the very least have time to cover someone.
It's so weird how good a defensive backfield can play when the front 4 and the front 7 actually play well.
Right.
And what we've always said that about it's like, if you're not getting pressure in the front 4, you know what? These guys in the backfield aren't as bad as it's showing.
Well, and if you draft Eddie Jackson, I told you.
Right, and you're asking a guy, though, even a competent defensive back, you're asking him to cover a wide receiver, an NFL wide receiver, for 12 seconds.
Right.
Yeah, anyone's going to get beat doing that.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Well, eventually,
eventually. You just can't do that. So it's fun to see that. It's fun to see Mitchell Trubisky's. I mean, I'm really enjoying watching him play. Of course, Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen, another guy that you called out at the start of the season as well. But, of course, the big story is outside of football is what happened to Zach Miller. And, when you start going into conversations about will he ever have – first of all, would he keep his leg? Secondly, after it was determined that the surgery was successful, he's going to have his leg. what kind of life he's going to have. So it's not even a football question anymore.
No, it's a life
And
question,
another injury, another leg injury for this guy, man. It sucks because he's a great guy too, and he's a really good teammate, and he's a great tight end.
No, I agree. When healthy, an excellent tight end.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There are some people who, I don't know why this is. Maybe you can help illuminate a little bit. But like, there are some people who get hurt all the time. I'm going to use Kevin White as an example. I don't have a problem with the guy. He seems like a great guy. We just don't know what he is on the field.
And dude, there's no rhyme or reason for it. It's just some people get injuries and some guys don't.
Times, but I mean, like,
some guys,
Zach, you see him work back from stuff, and oh god, like I don't, like you said, you texted the guy because it's just awful.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Like,
It's
I
terrible
don't want to
because,
see that stuff.
And having him
sucks.
on the show for a few years, I mean, he was just a great guy to talk to each week, and you could tell
he's a good dude and a good interview.
And there was a big difference in NFL, or not NFL, but in athletes you have on a radio show. You could tell the guys were doing it because it was something that they had to do, and there was a price tag attached to it.
Right.
And then you could tell the other guys that, obviously there was monetary value to it for them,
but a good team player.
But they also got into it too. They got into it, and they knew who you were when you called. You got a text from them occasionally, talking about the show coming up, or what was going on in their schedule. Even just hey, how's it going? And even those small little things, you could see a difference in this guy. He was one of those guys. It sucks to see him go down. It was one of the most horrific things I've seen watching football.
Well, okay, what was really odd for me? Well, I mean, obviously watching it, and I've seen a lot of stuff.
Biggest crap was it wasn't a touchdown.
Right. That's total horseshit.
Right.
And I don't think neither of us are the meatball, like the refs thing.
No.
But I'm going to say the refs in general, they've now hired full-time refs, and they suck more.
Been worse.
It's been worse. But anyway, as they were looking at this play and showing it over and over and over, no one said anything about the injury. It was literally like, I don't know. I can't see if it's a catch. I'm like, oh, like I watched it the first time and saw the leg buckle, and oh my god.
Yeah, they showed it. They keyed in on his leg.
Yeah, I felt like I was watching the Theismann play again.
Like,
they showed it over and over. It was like 6 times.
I was shocked they kept showing it. I mean, I thought like maybe once or twice, and then they kept showing it. I was like, wow, this is getting
no kidding, man. Seriously,
stop.
please stop.
So that was the story of the week, and he's still down in New Orleans, and had New Orleans Saints players come to visit him today in the hospital. So that's really cool to hear. Jarrell Freeman suspended 10 games. Currently not playing, but his second PED bust, so he's gone for 10 games. And I didn't pull the story up to read into it more, but initially, what I'd heard on the radio was that he said that it was lingering concussion symptoms is the cause for
contributing to
this latest suspension. Which I don't get how that works, but whatever.
Unless I have a concussion, I don't know in what way that could possibly. My brain could allow me to think.
Unless he just forgot that he wasn't supposed to take those. I don't know.
Yeah. We were talking about it before. I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's his second one in, 2 seasons?
Right, and it sucks because he's a great player, too.
Right. But you know what? We have depth now, so that's cool.
All right. Are the Bears on bye this week? I don't even know.
Yes, they are.
Because I didn't start watching Bears games again until Mitchell Trubisky's started to play quarterbacks.
They're on a bye week, and then I think we come out of the bye playing the Packers again.
So I don't have to watch football this weekend, is what you're telling me.
No, college. Okay. I'm going to watch some college. I'm actually working the Notre Dame game again. So
are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's taken away from your viewing though, hasn't it? Or
on
no?
Saturday,
disrupted you a little bit.
I'm on the whenever I have free time. I'm on the no, that's a different story. I'm watching the scores all day. I'm really college football is so awesome.
All right, couple NFL trade deadline stories. Deadline has come and gone. As you're listening to this podcast, it is now officially over.
Some very significant stories, actually.
Yeah, this first one here. I was shocked to hear Kelvin Benjamin. Why was he traded? I don't know if he's just not performing.
Any kind of an issue, but the Panthers' offense has been.
Oh, they've been bad.
Dog shit.
Yeah, it's been real bad.
And we saw it firsthand, so I'm not sure, but they got a pick out of it. And I know that the Bills in the offseason traded Sammy Watkins to the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I heard his name on the radio today. Joniak said it during one of the updates, and I was like, wow, that's bizarre. Kelvin Benjamin.
What's funny is ESPN mentions this before the massive trade that they made in the scope of quarterback play.
Yeah, so 49ers trade cornerback Rashard Robinson to the Jets, release cornerback Brian Hoyer. So they actually got, so the Niners got Jimmy Garoppolo.
Correct.
From the Patriots. But then there was reports of A.J. McCarron going to the Browns, and then the trade didn't go through because the Browns were late in getting the trade
paperwork.
Wow.
So
That's insane.
Everyone's instinct was, oh God, the Browns shit the bed again. And then I read Schefter had said that it was not on the Browns side, it was on the Bengals side, but like he was just getting it as it was coming.
Yeah.
And then the most recent and correct report came out, and it turns out that the Browns were unable to file the paperwork before the official trade deadline, and the NFL denied the trade.
There you go.
And now, not only do they not have a quarterback who, may or may not be good, but they also are the butt of the NFL's jokes. They are even more ridiculous than Jacksonville. So
I think I saw this on Twitter, the Twitter machine the other day. The Browns are 4-41 in their last 45 games. Does that sound about right?
Yep.
That's no good. The Dolphins traded
Jay Ajayi
to the Eagles, for a fourth-round pick.
Was a big pick and their starter, and I don't know, man. I'm not sure what's going on with
then
this
our beloved made a trade a few days ago or last week, whatever it was. Who did they got? What's his name? Dontrell Inman, and I heard today that he has really moved into a leadership position with a group of young wide receivers. That's great. It's really
that's
really cool.
Super stuff.
Yeah. Can you run a route and make a catch and get in the end zone?
He practiced Friday. He practiced today, and please be able to teach people how to run routes. That's really all we need at this point.
So that's the Patriots send Garoppolo to the Niners for a second-round pick.
Yes. I think this one's, no, this isn't the one I was married. So the Jaguars trade, or get Marcel Darius from the Bills for a 2018 sixth-round pick, which is basically nothing. One thing that is not on this that we're looking at, but Dwayne Brown from Houston.
Yeah.
Starting left tackle for Houston, which has been like the safety, the only thing that's keeping the quarterback alive, was traded to Seattle. I don't know if you watched
it was a few days ago,
that game last week where Russell Wilson pretty much won the game by himself and was basically saying on the sidelines, someone help me. He won it, which I'm not surprised because the guy's a total stud. But so now he has a legit starting left tackle, which I never really liked Seattle or Pete Carroll, but all right, cool then. Yeah, but that's a lot of things happen today, though. Usually on the trade deadline, you got nothing.
You don't see a whole ton,
This was like 5-6 significant trades.
Well, and Brian Hoyer getting released, that's interesting. Anyway, that's NFL Trade Talk, and he's Ferrari. I'm Abaticola. This is Abaticola Ferrari Discuss Everything. We'll take a very brief time out. We will come back. Segment 2, we have That's So Wisconsin. We got some funny stories, dumb criminals, dumb apps coming up. Abaticola and Ferrari Discuss Everything. It's episode 13, Sausage Legend, and we are brought to you by Mickey Finn's. That's Lake County's first brew pub, located at 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in beautiful downtown Libertyville.
Hello, may I help you?
You can sure as hell try. Hi, I'm Abe Froman. Party of 3 for 12. Is there a problem?
You're Abe Froman.
That's right. I'm Abe Froman.
The Sausage King of Chicago.
Yeah, that's me.
Welcome back in. It's segment 2. It's episode 13, Sausage Legend. It's Abaticola Ferrari Discuss Everything. He's Ferrari. I'm Abaticola. And we start off segment 2 with our That's So Wisconsin segment. And, of course, it is brought to you by
Will's Northwoods Inn at 3030 North Racine. Awesome place, Lakeview neighborhood. Check it out. It's a Wisconsin bar, so that makes sense what the name of the segment is. So our story this week, I just like to read the title, and Matt likes to read the copy because I can't see that far. So the title in giant bold letters is Man Gets Locked Inside Store's Beer Cooler Overnight, Starts Drinking.
So our story takes us to Marshfield, Wisconsin. A man got trapped in a Wisconsin convenience store cooler Tuesday night, started drinking, a decision that ultimately landed him behind bars, according to police. Jeremy Van Ert 38, he stopped into a Quick Trip store to buy a beer just before the 12 a.m. cutoff for alcohol sales. When he went to the store's cooler to retrieve his beverage of choice, however, the door closed behind him and the clock struck midnight, locking him in, according to WISN. Van Ert reportedly proceeded
the best part of his story is what he drank.
He proceeded to drink 3 cans of
Four
Four
Loko.
Loko and an 18-ounce can of Ice House beer. So I'm guessing there's a better beer selection inside that walk-in
The
cooler.
whole beer cooler and Quick Trip.
So he decides to drink 3 cans of Four Loko and an 18-ounce can of Ice House beer. While the man may have been living it up for a while, locked in the cooler, he wasn't exactly
This
trapped.
is like the key part, yeah.
The store is open 24 hours a day, and police say Van Ert just needed to knock on the cooler's glass door to get the attention of the attendant. The subject found himself locked in the beer cooler, knew that Quick Trip would not sell him any beer, so he decided to remain in the beer cooler and drink. That's what Marshfield Police Chief Rick Granza told WAOW. 6 hours after he entered the cooler, Van Ert was found by another customer. And 6 hours, dude. Wait, 6 hours, and he drank 4 beers?
Yeah, he had 4 Locos and an Ice House. Wow.
Employees open the door and say Van Ert left without paying for his drinks.
That's the crime.
I'm out of here.
No, that's the crime. After that whole story, the crime is he left after not paying for a couple of 4 Locos and a tall boy of Ice House.
Staff at the store also say the man toppled and damaged 3 30-packs of beer. Van Ert tried to run but was eventually arrested and charged with retail theft. He also violated a probation hold that required him to stay sober, according to WISN.
Which I'm guessing by the 30-pack comment, did he, like, each thing he took, did he open up, like, another case? Well, I'm hoping there are not 30 packs of Four Loko.
Yeah, it says
30...
he toppled and damaged him. So I'm wondering if maybe as he ran out, he knocked him over, or I was envisioning him using those as like a stool or a seat to sit on, and he kind of
or he
crushed the boxing.
He smashed him against the cooler door.
So
no, it didn't sound like he wanted to leave.
So here's our man from Wisconsin, and that's our story of That's So Wisconsin, Jeremy Van Ert.
Well done, sir. That's So Wisconsin, brought to you by Will's Northwoods Inn, 3030 North Racine in the Lakeview neighborhood, basically right around Belmont and Racine. Awesome place. Great specials, super cool bar. If you want to check out any of their specials or events that they have going on, go to willsnorthwoodsinn.com.
That is That's So Wisconsin. We do appreciate our friends over from Will's, and big shout out to the Van Ert family in Marshfield, Wisconsin.
Well done.
This is the Vaticola Ferrari Discuss Everything podcast, episode number 13, Sausage Legend, and we are brought to you by Mickey Finn's Brewery in Libertyville. That's Lake County's original brew pub. Check them out on Facebook at facebook.com/Mickey Finn's Brewery. And which leads us into some funny stories. You want to do the headlines and I'll do the stories?
Yeah.
Okay.
But did you want me to do this one, or you have 2 also, right?
No, go ahead. Let's do these.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So first one.
Well, only because the first word I see. Are you finding these?
Because I'm telling you right now, the mirror, the UK, the mirror.
It's your new favorite, isn't it?
Oh my God. I've used this for great. 4 shows in a row because it's amazing. So the title of this is Mum. Obviously, it's in the UK. Mum puts drunk naked son to bed after Halloween night out, then gets a huge fright in the morning. You know what? I can tell you because I've read this and it's very fresh in my mind.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you don't even really need to read the content other than mom wakes up, hears a noise in the house, goes downstairs, finds naked son that she thinks is like passed out downstairs. So she wakes son up, walks him upstairs, not noticing anything, puts him to bed, then wakes up in the morning to her husband saying, hey, there's a naked person that we don't know. So it wasn't even her son. It was some guy who got wasted, lost his keys, climbed over their fence, fell down, crawled into their house, and then she thought it was her drunk son.
Oh, my God.
And put him to bed, and they woke up to a naked guy in the son's bed who's not their son.
Where's the son at in all this?
We don't know. That is not. I read the entire thing twice to make sure. There is no mention of the son. However, this stranger is kind of hilarious.
That's awesome.
So there you go. Yes.
Was she doing this with her eyes closed? Did she not recognize?
Did not
her
turn
own
the
son?
lights off because did not want to disturb him. Basically, I mean,
Okay.
and then later on, this is the dude before he went out, not covered in mud, naked, and sleeping in someone else's house.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's a great story.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Mirror. I love you.
Yeah. Oh, I want to know where the son is though. I want to know I want to know what happened to the kid.
All right, I'm going to go to the Mirror tomorrow and see if there's a follow-up.
Yeah, there's got to be a follow-up.
There's got to
to
be
it, please.
a follow-up to see if
Wow.
that poor bastard is anywhere.
All right, and what's the what we got here with Jimmy Kimmel? Now,
right.
if you don't know any background, give a real brief background of what Jimmy Kimmel's going through. Some people might not know.
So background,
what he and his wife
I believe it was about. Let me think where we are right now. It was right around the time that I think it might have been November, December. That Jimmy Kimmel came on, and it was, with the current administration and talking about kind of getting rid of the current healthcare situation. And Kimmel had a baby girl who was born with very serious heart defects. And he did a very impassioned speech, which had, some good response, and obviously for other supporters, some bad response. But anyway, she has been scheduled for at least 6 surgeries, and number 4 was supposed to be this week. So Jimmy Kimmel asked certain people if they would help out, and they answered the call, which is amazing. So last night, Shaquille O'Neal was the host. Tonight, Dave Grohl will be the host.
Oh, man.
I know, which is,
You're staying up late.
that's
Yeah.
my guy. No, I'm going to DVR that.
Okay.
You know I don't watch live television other than football. I believe tomorrow night is Channing Tatum, and Thursday night is Jennifer Lawrence. And unfortunately, after all this really cool news of support for him and the guest hosting of the show, Jimmy and his wife fell ill, got the flu. And I don't know if any of you know, this actually happened to me. Like, if I was around anyone who got sick before I was going to have surgery, you can't do it because you could go in with with the germs that could mess with you in the healing process.
Right.
So it's delayed by a week. So we might have some kind of a continuation of this. But I just thought it's not a funny story, but I just thought it was a cool story because I appreciate that people are willing to support someone with this kind of an issue.
Yeah, and Jimmy Kimmel, I know some people might hate and refer to him in his liberal approach to his politics and what he does. But I'm telling you, the guy does it in a way that it's not, hey, my way of thinking is right, yours is wrong.
He just makes light of things.
Yeah, he's very passionate about the things he does when he gets out of being funny or the humor of things. Again, I don't watch Jimmy Kimmel. I don't watch Jimmy Fallon. I don't watch any of the late night shows. But every time I see something that's highlighted from one of those shows, I enjoy them. And Jimmy Kimmel the most. I mean, I just think everything I see outside of his show is just really entertaining.
There is nothing to me more hilarious than celebrities read mean tweets. Which
that's one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. It's great. It's just it's one of those things where. That as a producer of radio for 16 years, I was pissed I didn't think of that. I'm like, why did I not think of something like that? It was such a brilliant idea. And, those are the best ideas when you're involved in putting things together and creating things. When you see something and the greatest form of flattery is being angry that you didn't think of it. It's just a brilliant idea. Good stuff.
Just showing that celebrities have a sense of humor, like self-deprecating, well, not self-deprecating, but like taking a beating on the air because it's ridiculous.
And one thing I hate about Jimmy Fallon is that he's really tight with Justin Timberlake, and I want to be buddies with Justin Timberlake.
No
so
shit.
I hate the fact that they're like so close.
All right. Sidebar, we don't need to go deep into this, but I am so excited,
Very excited
that the NFL got over the nipple shit. And now we're going to have an awesome – I know it's going to be
It's going to be great. And the way
might be
that
better than the game.
The way that they announced it, too, of course, he has Jimmy Fallon, and it's, it's – I'm so ticked.
I love that they're buddies.
I hate it.
I love it. I know, because
I want to do – well, first of all, I would do a
it.
show, and then I want to be buddies with him and hang out with him and his wife.
Oh, yeah, and Matt's dream of being an awarded show host.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would love it. All right, so – whoa, that gets us into where are we at? We're at Dumb Criminals, right?
So these are our only 2, right? Because
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
all right,
I wanted to get into the Dumb Criminal.
We are
one.
at.
Wait, go back to those pictures. Go back to your pictures there.
What pictures?
I just saw. Was that your screensaver? What was that?
Oh,
that's just your.
That's just pictures of
me.
me.
I just saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just great. That's such a great picture. Your Jeopardy.
Oh yeah.
Halloween costume.
If you haven't seen it, go to
you got to go on Facebook.
It's not on our Twitter handle, and you can see my photo
right,
of this
you
year's
posted it.
Halloween, which is Forrest Gump, and several years ago, which I will never top, was the Celebrity Jeopardy, where I was Sean Connery. We had a working podium.
Yeah,
and
just
a work,
fantastic. All right, so our story this week of dumb criminals, Jason, it brings us to Attleboro, Massachusetts. I love this story.
It's lovely this time of year.
It is. A Massachusetts man says his 7-year-old daughter, on the way to school, found a suspected robber asleep in the back seat of the family minivan.
Okay.
Attleboro resident Danny Carlson says his daughter found the 30-year-old man in their driveway around 8:30 a.m. on Friday. Carlson says police struggled to wake the man up. He says police found the man, took some of his credit. Found that the man took some of his credit cards as well as items from his neighbor's vehicle. He says the suspected robber also had items of no value, including a dirty baseball cap, a toothbrush, and fake jewelry.
Was he wearing that?
I don't know, but
did he have like a bag of all these things?
When I read it, I immediately thought of our hobo apps.
Yes. Oh my God, that's his to-go bag.
It's a quickie, but the man has been charged with breaking and entering, credit card larceny over $250, and trespassing. I will do a follow-up on this story because we do need a name of this suspected
we need
robber.
to find the minivan bandit, and we need to find out if Mum's kid is okay.
So I guess if you're gonna go and break into cars and steal things and you're sleepy, well, I mean, what better thing to do than to just cop a squat in the minivan and take a nap.
Bring a dirty hat, a toothbrush, and
some fake jewelry. All right, so that's your dumb criminal of the day, and I'm going to follow up on this story from Attleboro, Massachusetts, to know more information about this. And then, yes, you are assigned to follow up on the story of the naked stud on the son, the
totally
missing son.
I bookmarked it so I could go back and find out what the hell was going on.
All right, now that brings us into our weekly segment of Dumb Apps with Jason Ferrari. Jason, dumb.
Yes. So they're in addition to being dumb, these are deeply upsetting. All of them.
And real. These are not made up.
Totally
These are
real.
real apps.
I actually did have someone suggest it would be funny if you made up your own, and I said, well, I could come up with some pretty messed up shit, but these are real things. These are things that people were paid for. Again, the order is difficult to do, so we're just going to go in the order I found them. Number one is called the Baby Shaker. I swear to God, this is a real thing.
Oh, my God.
You shake your phone with a simulated baby until a red X appears, which signifies the baby stops crying.
Or dies because it's like shaken syndrome.
Yep. So,
wow.
No more needed there. Next app is called Slash. Move your phone in a stabbing. Oh, I put moding, so I'm illiterate. But move your phone in a stabbing motion while the psycho music plays. All right. Oh yeah, this next one is called. Yeah, this. All right, so these last three I'm having.
What?
Yeah.
Why is it always?
I know
this ethnicity.
Yes, these last three I'm having a hard time ranking, so we're just gonna go in order of again that I found them. It's called Puff. It's basically you look up Japanese women's skirts by blowing into your phone microphone.
Wow.
I did not type the second part, which says if you blow into your phone more aggressively, they scream. Not kidding. That's called Puff.
Wait, is that available on Android? Since I'm an Android user now, I might have to check that out.
All right.
I mean, just for show purposes.
We don't need these. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The next one is called Pocket Girlfriend.
All right.
I'll read the description, and then if you don't get it, I'll explain it.
Yeah.
The virtual hottie offers conversation by saying demeaning remarks that would offend any women, such as, why would I want to talk about my feelings? And it's important for me to stay in shape, but I would never make you go to the gym. So basically, it's for people who want a yes girl,
right.
I guess, and that just seems sad.
There you go, Pocket Girlfriend.
Okay, now this is... all right.
Just say it, dude.
Just the name of the app is Sexy Bikini Fart.
Yes.
That's the name of the app. And the description is... Hot girls in swimsuits talking dirty and farting is far from sexy. Sounds great for anyone with a flatulence fetish, but most guys would prefer the sound of a woman moaning rather than passing gas.
Yeah.
So this is an app where apparently it's simulated women farting.
Well, that is a fetish out there. People do like to have, poop involved in their romance, and maybe this is right up their alley, and this is a popular app for them. Sexy Bikini Fart.
Yep, that's the name.
So what category are these under? Like Sexy Bikini Fart, Pocket Girlfriend, and Puff, where you look up Japanese women's skirts by blowing into your phone microphone.
I promise you, I use about 10 different words for dumb. All cinnamons in my all cinnamons and sugar,
clove, and
all synonyms
Human.
for the world. Jesus Christ! Woo! All right, all synonyms for the word dumb apps, and
that's what you find.
I find an endless stream of these things. Like, honestly, I don't make these up. I find them, again, every week. I think I'm going to run out. And clearly, I don't. These are real things.
So that, once again, is Dumb Apps with Jason Ferrari, a weekly segment we do here on the AFDE show. Baby Shaker / Puff, Pocket Girlfriend, and Sexy Bikini Fart. So you don't have to go back and get the names, the ones you want to.
I don't even care what it is. Just reading the last one.
This is episode 13, Sausage Legend. He's Ferrari. I'm a Baticola. This is a Baticola and Ferrari, and and we discuss everything and anything. We're brought to you by Mickey Finn's, Lake County's oldest brew pub, right there in beautiful downtown Libertyville. All right, welcome back in. Segment 3 of Baticola Ferrari Discuss Everything. This is episode 13, Sausage Legend. We're brought to you by Mickey Finn's, Lake County's oldest brew pub. Check them out, 345 North Milwaukee Avenue in Libertyville. Fantastic food, delicious beer, always a great time. Live entertainment on the weekends. Check them out online and see their entertainment schedule. They will get you all caught up. Get them on Facebook as well. That gets us into our best tweets of the week. This is where we highlight some tweets that we love, want to get some love and highlight those things that we saw on Twitter that were either funny or significant or something that we just really like and find inspiring.
Something that I like about, I don't know. This is how I approach it, though. I mean, like, there are things that are trending on social that I think are, I don't know, dumb, not interesting. They just trend. So the way I've been approaching this is people we follow. And I like the funny stuff that they say, or the poignant things, or the important things. So thus far, for me, these have been people we follow. I don't know, Matt, has that been similar to how you've approached it?
Well, it started out that way, and then I can't stop doing this each week, where I go to the Huffington Post and I find the as they headline here, the funniest tweets from parents this week, and this is the Huffington Post. So I'm going to share some of those with you again, because I can't get enough. Again, this is the Huffington Post, and these are the funniest tweets, in their opinion.
This makes me so happy.
from parents this week. And here they are. This from @6_pack_mom. So that would be 6-pack mom.
Mom works out.
What's up, Stephanie? Here's her tweet. Planned a week's worth of meals, then eliminated any with ingredients the kids don't like. Guess we're eating butter all week, or sugar. Again, these are the funniest tweets of the week from Huffington Post, and these are the parents' funniest tweets of the week. I never won anything on a game show, but a 3-year-old at my kid's daycare just tried to give me a set of car keys. That's from @dadpression. No?
I'm just, he tweeted it. Wow.
Okay.
Well, well done, Dad Pression.
This is from @copymama. Picking up armfuls of toys. I look up with dirty hair framing my soulless eyes. A chore chart? I say haggardly. Yeah, I had one once.
Well, Mom knows words.
Remember, these are the funniest tweets this week from parents.
I feel like we have never had one that is better than the handle.
Oh, the handles are
always better than the content.
This is from @MotherOctopusKJ.
Okay, there's no way that this can be good or better than MotherOctopusKJ.
Remember, these are the funniest tweets of the week, according to the Huffington Post. Whoever decided that the bathroom should be the smallest room in the house obviously wasn't a mother with children.
Well, how many? All right, yeah, okay. Moving on.
This is from @ParentsNormal. And this isn't funny, but this is actually pretty good.
Okay.
Fact, toddlers are more afraid of getting shampoo in their eyes than anything you warn them about that could actually poke out an eye.
I bet that's true.
It is very true.
I bet that's true. I don't have kids, but I've had shampoo in my eyes and it sucks. I can only imagine what it's like to be young and not get it.
And I'll give you one more here from Huffington Post. These are the funniest parents' tweets of the week, and this is at Realton Hammer. Are you ready?
Yeah.
These are the funniest tweets of the week.
Already bad.
At 4:30 a.m., I told my 4-year-old it was too early to be awake, and then we laughed and laughed, and then he put on a show, and I cried into my coffee.
All right. I'm quite sure we need to, in some way, I'm going to reach out via our Twitter to Huffington Post just to be like, we love your tweets so much.
Yeah, because
we brought them up on our show.
Yeah, we bring it up every week because these are the funniest parents' tweets of the week. So maybe you can ask on our Twitter account, what are the ones that didn't quite make the cut? Because if these are the funniest ones, I would really love to see the ones.
I'm not going to lie. Can we get the top 10 shitbag tweets that were submitted?
the worst tweets of the week. And
that just didn't get there.
We have those
almost there, but didn't get there.
All right, so those are my tweets from Huffington Post, the funniest parents' tweets of the week.
All right, so now we get to
the actual real ones.
Well, yeah, but let's not call them the funniest, but what we consider the best tweets. For me, I just went through and I found people that we follow, and we follow them for a reason.
Right.
And this one is from just the Bears, and it doesn't even need to be the specific tweet, just the subject matter. The tweet is update from the Chicago Bears and status of tight end Zach Miller, and I just appreciate what happened. It's close to home because he's our guy. He's on our team.
Yep.
But as you said, he's a really good dude, and people around the NFL really like him, and just the fact that what he's going through, what his family's going through is rough. So I appreciate the Bears, via social. Obviously, they're supporting him on the personal level, but on a social level, I don't know. I just like it. I don't know if there's more that we need to say.
So our first tweet of the week comes to us from at Chicago Bears.
Okay, second tweet of the week is, I know people hate Bill Maher, love Bill Maher. There doesn't seem to be a gray area. I love him just because I find him to be hilarious. And I appreciate the show because he brings in people on both sides. So it's not just
I don't watch him religiously like you do, but you got me into watching him, and every time I've watched, I've done nothing but enjoy the show.
Yes,
yeah,
and
very entertaining.
He brings on everybody, and he really likes bringing on people from the other side because it's not an argument. It's everybody's perspective, and then he reacts how he reacts.
So this is from his Twitter handle, at Bill Maher.
Yes. For those of you who don't know that, some of our president's child and I believe son-in-law,
correct,
are under indictment, and his
under investigation.
Investigation with a possible outcome of an indictment, correct. I should say. Excuse me. I can't wait for the indictment tomorrow. If it's Jared or Don Jr., President Crazy Pants is going to go nuts. I predict he will fling his feces.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, this is great.
That's
way great because I don't really put it past him, to be honest with you.
No, but the way he, I was just gonna say, flings things is just that way, and I think it's funny. Okay.
Yeah. So the special investigator comes out with an indictment, and it was Paul Manafort who was the campaign chair, and it's great the spin now from the White House. Like really trying to, they talk about Paul Manafort like he was like an intern that went out to get coffee and donuts. He was the campaign chair.
Shit,
I mean,
you're like, okay, so I think he had a little bit more key role in the election process.
All right, our next tweet of the week comes to us from at Conan O'Brien. You might know him,
which is one of my favorite follows. But here's something that's amazing. If you look at the followers and following. I've never seen anything like that. I've never seen a celebrity do that. He has 26.4 million followers, and he follows one. Here, before we even read the tweet, I need to go.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, dude, speaking of that, here, do this real quick, and then before we say the tweet, I got to tell you another Twitter account that's great like that. He follows Sarah Killen.
Okay, I kind of feel like she's got to be a rando, and because he's Conan and he's funny, he follows a rando. Unless he knows her, and we could look into it. Like, I think that's funny.
Did you... Have you seen the news about KFC? Their Twitter account got a lot of love in the last week or so. Did you hear about that?
Yes.
So who they follow?
Yes.
So they follow 11 herbs and Spices. So they follow like the 5 Spice Girls and 6 different guys named Herb. That I heard that was absolutely brilliant. Yes.
And McCormick, like
the seasoning.
yes.
Yeah, the seasoning.
Yeah, that's it. But Herb, not Herb.
Right.
Herb.
Right. But 11 herbs and spices, just fantastic, really good, really well done. And Conan O'Brien follows what we're guessing here is a random person.
Okay, but if not, then okay.
And at Conan O'Brien.
But so I wanted to pick one, but he does a lot of funny stuff in a week. He does a lot of funny stuff in a day. So let's just read a couple.
Well, I love his bio, though.
I know.
The voice of the people.
Sorry, people.
Yeah, it's great.
Sorry, people.
Good stuff.
Okay, so from today, the next kid who knocks on my door gets a VHS copy of RoboCop 3. Do you want to read the next one?
Yep, he says, pretty excited about my Halloween costume, French maid with intimacy issues due to her recent breakup with Steve.
All right, and I'm not a baseball guy, but I definitely I watched some playoff games,
this guy.
and I was definitely texting Matt, being like, it looks like Gimli from The Lord of the Rings.
Of course, Justin Turner from the Los Angeles Dodgers.
And Conan's tweet is, just had a nightmare that I was Justin Turner's shower drain.
Yeah, great. Good stuff.
Right.
Dodgers and Astros actually playing Game 6 right now. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah,
We'll find out after
I'm
the
not
show
going
is
to
over.
lie. For me, this is a battle of who gives a shit.
Oh. And for baseball lovers, it's been a fantastic World Series to watch. Really entertaining.
Okay.
And what's also sucks, too, is that the Dodgers bullpen, which destroyed the Cubs, absolutely blows
It's been
now.
blowing.
Oh my God, it's
I
terrible.
believe I did see some headlines earlier because, again, this is, for me, a battle of who gives a shit. Was a home run derby, I believe, in, what was that, game 1 or 2 when they just all homered. Wasn't it like the most home runs?
It was, I think it was the last game where there was like 7 home runs hit in that stupid extra inning game.
All right, I just want to read one more because I think this is funny. This year for Halloween, I'm giving out Canadian passports.
I'll do one more. Last one on Conan O'Brien, at Conan O'Brien, because it's baseball related here as we're talking about the Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw is the sound you make when you cough and sneeze at the same time. Yeah, that's great.
I don't know so much about the Clayton part, but definitely Kershaw.
Right.
Okay.
And then our last one is from your buddy.
All right, this is my guy, John Hansen. He's my neighbor. Grew up with him, and he is now on the Jam on WCIU, their morning show. Television, for those of you who are only listening to terrestrial radio. And John says a lot of funny stuff, but he had a segment the other day, which was basically like, I'm a little surprised that this was a thing, but it was kind of like F you weather was the segment. And he just kind of went on Michigan Avenue State, in the Loop area, and was just saying the question, are you ready for the cold weather? And the segment consisted of people saying, fuck no.
Yeah, just dropping the F-bomb one after the other.
Yep.
And not solicited, not asking them to, not to do it for part of the segment.
Nope.
Apparently, that is the honest, true answer that people were giving to John Hansen. You can follow him on Twitter. He's at John the Cubs fan. It's Jon, at John the Cubs fan. And also the show is at the Jam TV show.
Yes.
So people were just saying F no because they were not ready for the cold weather.
What's funny is
He's
that he
volunteering
came
that.
up with the idea and was just like, I'm going to go ask people if they like the cold. And Chicagoans, I love you. I love you for fuck no.
That's
I'm not.
great. Very good stuff. All right, so those are our best tweets of the week. So we do thank you for those, and we will get those retweeted out on the show handle at AFDE
On the
Show.
Twitters.
We'll have those for you. And now here's our inspirational story of the week. This is interesting because
I took a different I took a different angle, but I like the story.
Yeah, it's not so much as inspirational like similar stories we've done in the past, but this is something that it's a positive story
progress
regarding social media, and that's always a good thing. And the headline.
Kellogg's is redesigning Corn Pops boxes so they're not racist.
Not sure if you saw this story or heard about it, but Kellogg Company, they're reworking the artwork on Corn Pops cereal boxes following an allegation of racism. Marvel Comics writer used Twitter on Tuesday to accuse the cereal company of teaching kids racism with an illustration on Corn Pops packaging. The picture in question shows multiple yellow Corn Pop characters having fun at a shopping mall. The only darker colored character appears working as a janitor. And when you look at the picture, he's the biggest character in the artwork. It's huge.
He is. You know, and I didn't notice that until I was I relooked at it today.
Yeah, and he clearly is a darker shade, darker color. He is brown as opposed to the other characters in the artwork that are all yellow. So you think, all right, how is this inspirational or how is it positive? Well, because of that tweet, they actually responded that day. It was hours later. They responded and decided as a corporation they were going to take that down, and they're reworking the whole artwork because they clearly, I'll take them at their word that it wasn't intentional.
There's no way in hell that's intentional.
But making the correction and finally, seeing something positive with social media, and we do see positive things with social media, but here's something on a pretty big level, and particularly in the climate of our nation right now, how divided it is. It's good to see that Kellogg's was like, yeah, this is probably not a good idea. We need to make this change here, even though it was not deliberate as we could hopefully assume.
Having worked, or I've been working in social media, and I've been, working with big brands for almost 7 years.
Yeah.
The response time on this to me is what's the most impressive. Like, well, okay, let me rephrase that. The fact that they did respond in the manner that they did, and they did make a call as a company to make a change that quickly. But 4 hours later, after the tweet came out from Matt, can you read the handle for me?
From the comic book writer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it's Saladin Ahmed, and it's
I think it's just his name, right?
Yeah, it's just his name. Yeah.
Saladin, Saladinahmed.
Correct.
He said, "Hey, at Kellogg's U.S., why is literally the only brown corn pop on the whole cereal box the janitor?
Right.
This is teaching kids racism." Let me scroll down, and 4 hours later, Kellogg tweeted back. Kellogg's is committed to diversity and inclusion. We did not intend to offend. We apologize. The artwork is updated and will be in stores soon. I have honestly, in my entire life, unless these are stories that aren't presented to us, which is, could be the case, but on social media, because I'm on it every single day, I've never seen a brand respond this quickly and make that kind of a change. And that's the reason that I wanted to put this in the inspirational segment, because I feel like it's progress, man. It's super cool. They saw they saw it, and I think it's probably an old Corn Pops box. Like, I don't know if they had any intent other than that's how they drew it. We have no idea, but the response time and the response, I completely respect.
Good stuff.
Yep.
All right. So absolutely. So moving on to Baticola Ferrari, discuss everything. This is episode 13, Sausage Legend. And we've been doing this for a few weeks now and want to bring you things that have happened in history on this particular day. So we time travel. And here we are, October 31st is the day. That's where we are recording our show. Happy Halloween to all of you out there. Hope you had a great and safe Halloween. But here is this day in history, October 31st. And we start first in 1776.
For the first time after the United States, our leaders signed the Declaration of Independence, the King of England spoke. And this is kind of awesome for us and sad for them, because that's the whole point of the scenario. But he basically said, I'm going to paraphrase, but he basically said, the United States has officially declared their independence from England. And basically, they're giving us a giant middle finger, and they are not going to follow any more of our policies moving forward. This is the way that he was able to address his own people in saying that they lost.
Right.
So in 1776, on this day, October 31st, was the first speech by the King of England after we signed the Declaration of Independence.
Yep, so that's cool. So that was King George III, October 31st, 1776. On October 31st, 1993.
Matt and I we're talking about this, and it's not like this is on the level of the Declaration of Independence and the King speaking about it, But I don't know. This kind of hit close to home for Matt and I, based on our age and kind of watching this kid as an actor and growing up. River Phoenix passed away, and this was at the. I'm not even reading the article anymore, but I think I remember it was at Johnny Depp's The Viper Room, right?
I think that's accurate. Just see, it says Hollywood nightclub here in the story. I'd have to look it up just to be sure, but I think that's what the accurate story is. Does it say it's oh yeah, it certainly was. Yep, the Viper Room. And interesting enough, who was a bartender at the Viper Room during Johnny Depp's time as the owner? Our bartender friend from the lodge, Blue Dave, when our days of hanging out there drinking pizza, drinking beer and eating pizza.
Yes,
he was a bartender at the Viper Room.
Yes. Dave, blue-haired Dave had some amazing stories. And now where is he? He's like scuba diving somewhere? Or?
He's in Hawaii with his family, and he swims with the Shark Research Institute. I think that's the correct name. And he
you brought that up.
Sharks.
And I'm more terrified of that than clowns. So Blue Dave,
right.
Good for you. And what the fuck is wrong with you?
So
like,
October 31st, River Phoenix, 1993, he dies outside of the Viper Room of a drug overdose. And October 31st, 1864.
Here's a fun one for Vegas fans. Nevada is introduced and accepted as the 36th state.
That's right. So on this day in 1864, anxious to have support of the Republican-dominated Nevada territory for President Abraham Lincoln's reelection, the U.S. Congress quickly admits Nevada as the 36th state of our union. At that time, had 40,000 inhabitants. And lastly, on October 31st, 1968.
This one was, Matt and I were not. Oh, wait, hold on. Yep, doing math.
Yep.
Matt and I were not alive
Negative
at
5.
this point. But President Johnson announces bombing halt, which was basically the signification and the announcement of the end of the Vietnam War. This is where Vietnam accepted the ability to speak with the enemy and try and move forward in peace. But this is this was the day that we basically said, we're out.
Yeah, he ended the air raids in North Vietnam known as Operation Rolling Thunder. So that is this day in history, October 31st. It is later in history as you're listening to this podcast, and we hope you had a very great and a very safe Halloween, which gets us into our rapid-fire questions for each other.
Which you seem to be really excited about.
I am excited about because here is the website that I pulled your questions off of. These are all the questions you should ask your BFF is how it's titled, and it's from HelloGiggles.com.
Are we BFFs?
Well, I just like this HelloGiggles.com.
All right. Well, yeah, that is a solid name. Yeah, that's it. That's the segment. HelloGiggles.com.
So here you go. Get a cup of coffee or a mug of eggnog and get to know your BFF even more by asking him or her the following questions.
All right.
So, number one.
What, are we alternating?
Yeah, let's alternate.
Okay, go.
What is the name of the first person you ever had a crush on, and why did you like them?
You answered that. Or I answered
that.
that.
I'm going through Hello Giggles.
This girl named Megan, because she was the only one who talked to me.
That's a great answer.
That's it.
Perfect.
That's it.
All right, your question.
Okay, next one. What would your dream vacation be?
Oh, Italy. Like a month in Italy.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And
not at least a month.
At least a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be it.
Go for it.
All right, I'm going through HelloGiggles.com. Number 2, what is the one thing you regret having done?
We need to tweet at these morons too. Awesome people.
What is the one thing you regret having done or not done in your life?
I don't know. I'm trying to get to a point where I'm done with regretting shit. So, you know what? Actually, I really wish I would do more. I think it kind of goes into the first question. I wish I traveled more.
Yeah.
And I hope I travel more. Like Trish wants to do that so much, and I hope that we are financially able to travel more. I really want to do that.
I travel later on in life because I haven't traveled enough. That's a good one.
All right. Would you be willing to eat a bowl of crickets for $40,000?
Yes.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Moving on.
Not even a thought about it,
dude. The funny thing is, I maybe would have thought.
I might
about
do it for
like
$400.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I would be like, well, yeah. The price of my rent, I would eat it. Eat it.
All right, number 3. This is HelloGiggles.com. Questions, Jay. Do you have a cup of coffee or a glass of eggnog? There, it says we should do that.
That's your question?
No, number 3. Which parent do you identify with the most? I guess it don't have to be yours, but which parent do you identify with the most?
Well, yeah, I don't identify with any strangers' parents.
or any strange parents.
You know what? That's very difficult because I think throughout life I've been closer to one or the other depending on what's going on. But I don't know. As I've gotten older, I see the parts of me that come from them.
Yeah.
You know, or I have a wife now who sees. It's kind of equal, honestly. Like I don't think I identify with one or the other more. Like, because I can see parts of me that come from them. Is that good?
Yes.
All right. Mine is not a good question after that one. But Matt and I used to talk about this shit all the time. Favorite clothing brand?
Ooh. Favorite clothing brand.
Before Matt answers this, his favorite clothing brand used to be The Buckle.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a store anymore.
Yeah, now favorite clothing brand? Well, I don't really buy a whole lot of clothes. My most recent most of my money this year I've spent on clothes has been in H&M.
Okay. So what's nice is I've now reached a weight where I can wear anything from there other than socks.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll have to stop by.
Half of their stuff I really like. The other half I would never touch.
Right.
So
Because
that's pretty
some
much
of
how it
it's
goes.
ridiculous and scarf based, and the rest of it is kind of nice stuff. For me, it would be Kohl's, not Kohl's brand, but it is a Kohl's brand.
No, Kohl's has good clothes. Yeah.
I did some research, and it is referred to as APT9. A lot of Kohl's customers, who I'm not surprised from Chicago, call it Apartment 9.
Apartment 9.
But I have a lot of that stuff.
All right, what do you think you cook or bake the best?
The funny thing is,
HelloGiggles.com.
No. My number 9 is the same question for you, but I don't say bake.
No, this
I don't
says
picture
bake.
you making pastries.
Yep.
You know what? I learned from Grandma. I'm like an instinctive cook. I don't need
recipes. I get an idea. And
I don't need
it.
recipes
Right.
or anything. I can make a lot of things from scratch. I think my chili that I have not made for several years because I refused to make it when I was in Wisconsin, which I will be making for the Super Bowl this year. Matt, hopefully you're able to attend. That, I think, is my best. Italian food, obviously, but chili, my best.
All right.
Well, that you just asked me that, didn't you?
Yeah, I just asked you that.
Yeah, okay. Have you ever had surgery?
Yes.
What was it?
Appendectomy.
I never knew that.
Yeah, I had my...
We're not BFFs. I don't have your surgical history.
I had my appendix taken out. When would this have been? This would have been in... I don't even remember how old I was. I was young. I was in my late teens or early 20s. I had my appendix out, yeah.
You do realize that's a giant delta, right? Late teens or early 20s?
Like I was either 19 or I was like 22. I was somewhere in there.
Right. But let's call 24 early because it's not mid. Okay. So how do you not know when you had it out?
I don't remember when I don't remember it because I'm 44 now. I don't remember. It was
my God.
A long time ago.
All right. Yeah. We don't remember movie lines. No, we do remember movie lines. I should never say that. We don't remember titles of things or normal
it's not like it's that big of a deal.
Items. No. Okay.
I mean, appendix now it's nothing. I mean, it's I did cut you open. I always did it when they had staples and everything. Now they did. Yeah.
For me, if everybody gives a shit, let's see. First surgery, crossed eye surgery. Second surgery, tear duct. Apparently, I was unable to cry. Maybe I wish I could go back. Next surgery would be quadruple hernia surgery. Was unaware that hernias could grow inward, but hey, they do. I broke my femur, and I had spinal fusion last
you've
December.
had a lot of surgeries.
Yeah, so apparently I'm, gradually falling apart, but I'm not going to lie. I feel the strongest I've felt in a long time right now.
And I had my heart removed. Number 5 here for you. If you could change your first name, what would it be?
I've never had a favorite name.
Yeah.
But I always kind of like maybe changing it, not flipping it, but I like Mark. I like my middle name.
You do?
Yeah. So, Mark.
I would change mine to I would go to either like Abraham Lincoln Abaticola or George Washington Abaticola.
You're such an idiot.
Okay.
I'm going to go with, what's the biggest asshole in history?
Right.
We'll just go there. Okay. I went all over the board. What's your favorite lunch meat?
Salami.
Me too.
No question about it.
Yep. I
Yep,
agree.
that's my favorite.
Okay.
What embarrasses you the most in front of other people?
I think you know me well enough that I don't have a lot of shame. So, actually, knowing things that I used to know that apparently are vacating my mind, like that really makes me feel like shit when I knew it and apparently it's gone, or I need to really work hard to get it back.
Yeah, mine is when I go out and forget to wear pants. It's always embarrassing.
Well, because shut up, that doesn't even happen. No, but if you're a part of a Dago Tea party, you know, you forget to wear pants with a belt or non-elastic.
That's right, you wear sweatpants.
Yes. Okay. What was your first job?
First job was a cashier at Herman's Sporting Goods.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Was it in Lombard?
No, this was in Countryside.
Okay.
Right? So that's when I was still in high school. I was a sophomore in high school, and
You were in what?
started
LaGrange, or where were you?
Well, I lived in Countryside. I went to high school in LaGrange at LT.
LT.
So this was right on. God, was it? Yeah, it'd be LaGrange Road.
Yeah.
And I was making $3.25 an hour as a cashier. My 90-day raise was for 50 cents. I got the $3.75.
Yep.
And I told the general manager on my sheet, he was like, do you want to write any comments on your sheet here? And I said, sure. So I wrote down, thanks for the raise. My mom can get the surgery she wants now.
Oh, my. Okay. So
16,
Matt started then.
At 16 years old.
We are old enough, even 2 years apart, that my first job was the same minimum wage.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you did, but I got the work permit and I worked at 15.
Really? Yeah,
So,
no, I
yeah,
waited until I was 16. And,
Yes, we had the same minimum wage.
So I was a cashier, and there was one Saturday, it was really busy, and there was a line, and I got really flustered, and this guy was trying to buy golf balls, and I something was wrong with the register, and I couldn't find a manager, and I just like, dude, I'm like, I don't know how long you're gonna have to wait. If you're looking for, to go play, I don't know. And he was like, all right, well, will they be under $20? And I'm like, they were like $14.99. I'm like, yeah, they're under $20. He's like, here's a 20. I'm gonna
Keep
go.
it.
I'm
Yeah, I
like,
gotta
all right.
go.
I'm like, see ya. Take it easy, man.
Yeah, exactly. And then congratulations on being one of the few people to get a Herman's tip.
Yeah, a Herman. Well, yeah, I might have got a whole 20 on that one.
All right.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not saying I did or didn't.
I don't care.
All right. Who are you most envious of, real or fictional, and why?
You know what? I think this is a running theme when we were talking about, like, what do we want to change about ourselves and things. People who just can get beyond it. I'm not someone who, like, things don't fester, but, like, I get like stressed out about random shit. I really wish that I could just, like, let it roll over my shoulder easier.
Oh, I got you. For me, it's any of the late night talk show hosts. I'd like to have their job.
Because you want their job.
Yeah,
Okay, I
that's
get it.
pretty much it. Yep.
Okay. What was your favorite toy as a child?
Oh, Lincoln Logs. Big fan of Lincoln Logs.
Dude.
Again, it goes back to the whole Abraham Lincoln Abaticola.
We have the exact same toy. Honestly, I swear to God. Yeah, I made my parents buy more because when I outbuilt the set, I got more.
Yeah.
Lincoln Logs that was my favorite.
Loved
it.
Lincoln Logs and the Star Wars action figures, like the old small original ones. Like
no, I did too. I
like
mean, we
those.
all had those. We were young enough, and we kind of went through the whole thing. But yeah, Lincoln Logs.
I used to take
Totally.
I used to take fishing line, and I would tape fishing line up to one corner, like high up on the wall, and then run it across the room on a downward angle, and then use a straw. And then I would take Scotch tape and tape the figure's hands to the straw, and it would be their device to get across the room.
Okay.
And land into a Lincoln
and
Log
this is
cabin.
so, like, opposite of what my personality is now, but somehow I used to think that I don't know, what was I, like a conspiracy theorists or people who
Put
are
that on the
like,
list.
Yeah,
Conspiracy
therapists or people who are under attack or whatever. But I would set like traps, but with the toys.
Yeah.
So if people would walk through the door, random Star Wars characters would fall on them. Yeah. So that was
great.
the thing. Okay.
All right. Let me see here. What I want to ask
I have
you.
3 more.
All right. Oh, what is the saddest song you've ever heard?
Okay, so not actually sad, but any music that's being released today. I hate it so much it depresses me.
All right. That's fair. I'm sure mine, I'd have to think about it. I didn't really think about the answer, but something Barry Manilow, I'd have to find a Barry Manilow song. I'm sure
Yeah, they're
it's
all
the
sad
saddest one.
also.
Yeah.
But that's, for a different reason. What is the first thing you notice about people?
Ooh.
And I will offer you the first time you meet a woman, first time you meet a man, first time you meet a coworker, first time you network. I mean, I feel like unless you have something that is
I can answer that. Coworker is the way they're dressed.
Okay,
they're dressed. A woman, I think it would definitely be. Gosh, like what do I look at first on a lady? Hello, ladies.
You know this answer.
You know,
I
the
don't.
answer?
No, you do. I don't.
Yeah.
You know what you notice on a woman.
Yeah,
first.
I'm trying to think if I notice their smile, like their smile, or their eyes, or their hair. Yeah, I'm not sure.
All right, you know what's
right. It's
you know what's kind of
right
crazy.
There, yeah.
Anyone who knows me, you included boobs, right? They think that, but for
I wouldn't
me,
think that. I wouldn't think
for
boobs.
me, it's always been eyes, eyes and teeth.
Yeah, you know what mine is and this is my first thing. Are shoes on a woman. I notice shoes. I look at a woman's shoes.
Is it weird that I'm starting to appreciate more like if a girl's rocking Chucks than like stripper heels?
No,
like
there's nothing wrong with that. It's just it's what you like, and that's the I go to shoes first. Like shoes are the first thing I look at on a lady because that saves me from having to look any further.
Yeah, dude, don't care. I notice if he's saying anything dumb or redeeming enough that I want to talk to him. Coworker. I notice speech first, ability to know words and things. So that's me.
All right. What food will you absolutely not, under any circumstances, eat?
Well, other than like really weird things that aren't standard cuisine for us, beet salad.
Oh, I love
beets.
Oh, I love beets.
Hate them.
I eat beets at least once a week.
No, you don't.
I do.
You eat beets once a week?
At least, yeah.
Right, you and Trish can
there's
compare
a great,
shitty beet recipes.
There's a great... no, I don't do recipes. Mariano's now has these organic beets in a package. It's all prepared. You just open them up and eat them.
I'm going to tell Trish.
At least once a week.
She can get beets.
And they have different flavored ones.
You can eat them when we record. Different flavored beets?
Yeah, there's like ones with like
is
white
there any
vinegar.
way I can get beets that don't taste like beets? Then maybe I'll eat them.
No,
yeah.
jerk.
Okay. Yeah.
Beets are delicious for you.
Okay.
You know, the Roman soldiers used to eat beets before they went into battle and the bedroom.
Okay. That's
sometimes,
why
sometimes we're both.
I bet they started that late, and that's why they lost.
So I don't know if you wanted to were you hoping to do somebody during battle, or what was the reason for that? If you did them because it got you up in the bedroom, were you hoping I'm going to fight and maybe if things go the right way for me and this guy?
I kind of feel like in anyone who's won a lot of world domination, the after winnings were not exactly consensual or beat oriented. My last question is, and I really, really do want to know this answer. Okay. Well, I want to know all of them, but based on what you've been doing for the last 16, 17 years, who is the coolest, and I think you know our definition of cool, famous person you have ever met?
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Really?
Yes.
And that does not surprise me.
He was,
or no, not that that's your number one, but him being cool.
Yeah, he was. So it was 1994, 2004, the Houston Super Bowl.
Okay.
Houston Super Bowl.
Yeah. What?
We were down there, and he was promoting the movie. I'm gonna take a stab at it. Walking Tall, maybe.
Yeah.
That's what, if that time frame is correct.
Yeah, that would be the year or the what was it? The Runaway.
He had a movie coming out. Yeah, and. He was out by himself doing movies. That the kid who the Stifler wasn't with them, so I'm sure it was. I think it was Walking Tall.
Yeah, it had to be.
And dude, he was absolutely just delightful to talk to. He couldn't have been nicer. He was just genuine and real. And after the interview was over, man, he was like, "This was one of my favorite interviews I've done." It was me, Dan, and Terry, and I got the handshake half hug from Dwayne the Rock, and it made my absolute week. The whole week of being down there for the Super Bowl show was great. Easily my number one favorite celebrity I've ever met.
Cool, man. Mine is I've never met any. Well, okay, I have two. I was 1987, and Wayne's World was in its glory on Saturday Night Live, and Mike Myers and Dana Carvey did just a kind of a comedy tour where they did sets, but they also did Wayne's World. They came to Illinois Benedictine and Lisle, and my parents knew that I was a huge fan, so they got myself and 4 of my friends tickets.
Nice.
And we watched the show. But this has kind of like been my thing forever. I moved to the right, snuck back, and ended up talking to a couple of like older people, and just, I think you remember my dad's speech at my wedding. I have always just wanted to talk to like people, but people always thought like I was older than I was. It turned out that people I were talking to were Dana Carvey's and Mike Myers' parents.
Oh, wow.
And they allowed me to go backstage with them, and I met both of them while my parents and all of my friends who went to the show were in the parking lot wondering where the hell I was. And I came out and said, hey, I met these people. Number 2 would be, I was fortunate enough to do a radio show with our guy, Brendan McCaffrey, back in the day, and we were the lead-in for Jared Payton, Walter Payton's kid, and we went to an event one night, and Otis Wilson and Steve McMichael and safety Sean
Gale.
Yeah, Sean Gale was there. They all sat at a table, and I sat with them. And I talked about, being cognizant of the 85 Super Bowl, 85 season, 86 Super Bowl. And the game was playing without sound. And the 3 of them were watching and being like, this is where we did this. This is where we did this. I was like, holy shit. Like, these guys are awesome. Like, that was insanely cool for me to see. Those are my 2 favorites.
Yeah, I always had great experiences with Mongo, with Stephen Michael. Nice guy, and I did different social events. Being around him, he was always fun to hang out with. Otis Wilson, I did a really cool Thuzio event.
Oh, and Dent was there too.
I hosted with, and he was the guest. I was the host, and that was a really, really cool event I did. And I always loved talking to Otis. That's when he told me about the bounty that they would put on quarterbacks on every play during the Super Bowl season. That someone would and I know I've told this before, but someone would yell out $400, and someone would yell at $450, and someone would yell at $500, and whoever had the highest number, if they sacked the quarterback in that play, they got that dollar amount from the rest of the.
Plus, you knew they were all getting there,
right? So it was really, really cool. Always good guys. Last question I have for you. Actually, I have 2 questions, 2 last ones.
Okay.
Number 1 is, would you ever adopt a child? Would you ever adopt a child?
Yes.
Okay. Number 2 is, if you were a cake, what flavor cake would you be? This is hello giggles.
Yeah. Oh, hello giggles. Well, my favorite cake, so I would be that cake, is yellow cake with not like shitty fake chocolate frosting,
real chocolate,
but
frosting.
The cream cheese
nice.
chocolate frosting. That's what I would be.
I would be a red velvet cake with cream cheese frosting. That's my favorite. Is red velvet cake. All right, before we wrap things up, I wanted to give some love to one of our buddies, Matt Drufke. We mentioned one of his tweets last week too. Matt is actually doing something. You can get him on Twitter at I Hate Matt Drufke, and it's DRUFKE.
Funny as hell, man.
They're putting together a comedy festival, and it is on the Fox Comedy Festival. It is out in Aurora, and they're doing a GoFundMe for this because these are a bunch of comedians, young and young writers trying to get together, and they're trying to bring some national talents also to this comedy festival. If you want information on it, go to gofundme.com/onthefoxfest. So it's On the Fox Fest. If you can't remember that address right there, just Google On the Fox Fest, and you can find what they're trying to do. I am definitely going to go out there and support these guys and see this.
When's the date?
Let me get all the information up
Okay,
here.
sorry about that.
No, that's all right. I'm just trying to pull it up. GoFundMe.com/On the Fox Fest, as it's pulling up right now. So yes, they are doing it. Matthew Drufke is the main guy. And I'm trying to get the information here. Sorry. Thank you for your patience.
It's
I do
okay.
Appreciate it.
Sometimes our brains are faster than the interweb. I know that's weird, but it happens.
All right. So let's see if he actually has the info here. Put on a comedy show in Aurora. Blah, blah, blah. I want to make it affordable for people. So September 28th and 20th. Sorry, took me a second to get down there. Comedy Festival for Aurora
September
on September 28th and 29th of 2018.
Okay.
So they're a year away.
So we have some time to learn more about it, and you have some time to prep for going.
Yeah. So on the Fox Fest, check it out and give them some love. He's at I Hate Matt Drufke, and you go to GoFundMe.com/On the Fox Fest. I want to thank you for downloading the program. Remember, tell a friend or two all about it. We do appreciate your support and continue listening to the program. This was episode 13, Sausage Legend. It's Abaticola. Ferrari discuss everything. He's Jason Ferrari. I'm Matt Abaticola. We'll talk to you next time.